Well, the clock has struck 7, so we're going to go ahead and read the preamble. So, welcome to the Midwest Prepper Report Net, or Mprnet. All licensed amateur operators are welcome to participate in providing a status for your county. When checking in, please provide your call sign, your county, and your name. The MPRNet traffic should be focused on red, yellow, or green status for your county, as described on our website at offgridcomms.com on the MPRNet schedule page. After you complete your traffic, please return the net to the net control station, which tonight is W5DMH. I will now take short time check-ins. Any short time in and out check-ins, call now with your call sign, your county, and your name. No short timers heard, so we're going to move on to regular check-ins. Any regular check-ins out there waiting in the wings, call now.
Net control, please copy. Kilo 8 Oscar Bravo, Bill from Macomb County.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Foxtrot Oscar Quebec, here.
KB9 WLC is here from Tuscola County.
Okay, I got K8OB, Bill in Macomb County, K8FOQ, Myra in Lapeer County, and I got KB9 WLC, Paul in Tuscola County. Anybody I'm missing?
Kilo Echo 8, November, Lima Echo, Mike, over here in Kalamazoo.
Gotcha, Mike. Anybody else out there? All right, we're going to roll it up to the top. We've got K8FTT Sparky out of Montcalm County. Sparky, what's the status in Montcalm County tonight?
Yeah, Sparky, K8FDT. Everything seems to be green. Didn't get any gas, because I don't get out much, so the gas tank stays full, but it seemed to be just under $3 from the last time I seen it. This weather, it's nice to get it all mellowed out, but it's nice to have winter too. But it's been pretty quiet in Macomb County here. So with that said, send it back to you, Dan. Thanks.
K8FTT from W5DMH. Well, thanks for joining tonight, Sparky. And we had you at a solid 10 over signal. Good quality audio coming in. Thank you for taking a moment to join us and giving us a green report from Montcalm County. That brings us down to, Mike out of Mecosta County, KDA-YZV. Mike, what is the status in Mecosta County tonight?
Thanks a lot, and good evening, everybody. And thanks, Dan, once again for running the net. This is Mike in Mecosta, call sign KD8YZB. We're going to call it green over here. I did travel along M46 in northern Montcalm County earlier today. Fuel prices varied for unleaded gas as low as $2.73 for a cash price, which was kind of nice, to about as high as $3.20. Average seems to be right around that $3 mark, and diesel seemed to be running around $3.40 to $3.50 most places for that. As far as the store, I noticed a couple of small shortages. Did notice the produce section was a little more anemic than usual. Soup area still seems to be a little bit lacking, and then the I guess the Christmas candy seemed to be kind of lacking as well. I had noticed. With that, I'm going to send it back to Net Control, W5DMH from KD8YZV.
KD8YZV from W5DMH. Well, thanks for joining tonight, Mike. And your signal report's a solid 20 over. Good, strong audio coming out of Mecosta County tonight. Thank you for that green report as well. And we're going to drop down to Leonard in Oakland County, 88FK. Leonard, what's the status in Oakland County this evening?
Well, Dan, I have to give it a green status. I did get fuel, so we got a tank of fuel. And every time my wife goes to the grocery store, she complains about shortages or empty shelves or rotten produce. She's quite a discriminating shopper, let's say, put it that way. So I don't know what to tell you, but we had a great weekend. We had a full our full belly's full, so we're not hurting. So we have to give it a green status. Back to you, Dan. W5 DMH 88FK.
88FK from W5DMH. Got you at 20 over, Leonard. Thanks for joining us this evening, and thanks for that green report out of Oakland County as well. And that brings us down to Lance in Jackson County, K8LCS. Lance, what's the status over in Jackson County this evening?
Well, good evening, everybody on the net. This is Lance, K8LCS in Jackson County. Well, the fuel prices here are running about $3.50 a gallon, $3.50 to $3.60. As always, Jackson County is the armpit of Michigan. And so the grocery stores were fine. I did go out grocery shopping yesterday. There were no shortages. Sam's, the eggs were about $3.50 a dozen when you bought 2 dozen, and it was a little under $7 for the cage-free eggs at Sam's Market yesterday. And Aldi's seemed to have shelves. Everything was well stocked at Aldi's also. So you're running about 35 over here tonight, Dan. Excellent signal. Everybody sounds good on the net, and nothing new to report. I want to make a note that the president, Jimmy Carter, did die today, and I do owe him my in my upbringing. Thanks to Jimmy Carter, I learned to cut, split, chop, stack, and burn firewood, because the price of fuel oil that my father was buying to heat the old farmhouse jumped from 22 cents one year to 90 cents a gallon the next, and we just couldn't afford it. So we learned to burn firewood, and my pop knew how to do that because he grew up just after the Depression, but I think he chose not to burn firewood when he built his own home and started his own family, but conditions changed and we were forced to do that. And so I finally remember that Jimmy Carter taught me that firewood heats you twice, once when you cut it and once when you burn it. So back to net control, 7-3 to everybody from Lance in Jackson County.
Good evening, Lance. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. 25 over signal here in beautiful Mayville, Michigan, coming out of Jackson County. And thank you for the green report for Jackson County and the interesting Jimmy Carter story. I did not know he passed today. Don't wish that for anybody, but basically he was a corpse on a stretcher when they dragged him out to vote. That was just embarrassing. But interesting story on the firewood. So thanks again for joining us tonight out of Jackson County. And that brings us down to Randy in Berry County, KCA QNR. Randy, what's the status over in Berry County tonight? Not sure if I'm having an issue on my end or if the issue's on Randy's end, but all of a sudden I got nothing but heavy static.
Yeah, he dropped right off.
Same here.
Hey, Randy, you might want to try it again. Something went horribly wrong on your last transmission, and all I heard was some really ugly static and no audio from you.
Really?
I heard checking out.
Yeah, you're super weak and out there in the weeds and kind of wandering around like your VFO is floating. I'm not sure what's going on there, buddy. But we'll come back to you. We'll catch you on round two. We're going to drop down to John in Waldo County, Maine, KB1 ROT. John, what's the status out in Waldo County, Maine tonight?
everything here is green. Temperature is down a little bit. Okay, there we go. I got a better signal. We're green here. Eggs were really hard to find this week, but besides that, everything is good. We got a storm here. We got some rain.
I don't know if you're still transmitting, John, or not. You faded out on me there, and I was getting a tremendous amount of carryover band noise. I was hearing a dozen different transmissions when you were transmitting. It was very weird, like you were dragging carriers from all over the place along with your carrier. You can give it one more try, and let's see if we can bring you in. I can't get enough of a signal. Anybody else got a better signal on John?
Dan, I'm seeing the same thing. It's like there's 7 or 8 carriers being thrown around out there. It's just the strangest thing I've seen. And Randy, I think it was doing that somewhat as well. But John seems to be really prolific in that arena.
Yeah, we'll try you again on round 2, John. And we're going to drop down to Kevin in Kent County, KEAVN. I'm sure he's got a blasting signal coming out of Kent County tonight.
KEAVN here. Yeah, you're sounding good here. You're pushing 25 over here in Freeport. Kent County is green here. Gas was $3.14 today. The store seems to be all stocked back up. And I was at the gun shop today, picking out a new toy, and ammo was completely stocked, and the same thing with the guns. They were well stocked, and it seemed like it was pretty packed. There was a lot of people there purchasing, so that was a good thing. So with that, I'll turn it back to Net Control, KEAVN.
KEAVN from W5DMH, 20 over signal coming into beautiful Mayville, Michigan tonight, Kevin. And thank you for that green report out of Kent County. And that brings us down to K8OB, Bill out of Macomb County. Bill, what's the status down in Macomb County tonight?
Good evening, Dan, and everyone on frequencies. K8OB, Bill here in Macomb County. I have to give Macomb County a green status report. Fuel is ready and available. The cheapest I've seen it was $2.94 a gallon. Wife was at the grocery store, said nothing seemed abnormal or didn't notice any shortages on anything. And yeah, other than that, that's about all I got. Everything seems to be in pretty good shape over here in Macomb County. So K8OB, back to Net Control.
K8OB from W5DMH, well, the usual 30 over signal and the FM broadcast quality audio. So fantastic there. Thanks for the green report out of Macomb County tonight, Bill. Appreciate you taking the time to join us and share. That brings us down to Myra in Lapeer County, KE8FOQ. Myra, what's the status in your area of Lapeer County tonight?
This is KE8FOQ, Myra in Lapeer. Lapeer's looking green. I saw gas for $3.05 yesterday. Haven't been in the stores since before Christmas, but planning to go shopping tomorrow, so I'll find out the status of the stores then. This is KE8FOQ. Back to you, Dan.
KE8FOQ from W5DMH. Well, thanks for joining tonight, Myra. Always glad to have you here. And we had a 10 over signal for you tonight, so no problem bringing you in. Thank you for that green report for your area of Lapeer County as well. And that brings us down to Paul over in eastern Tuscola County, KB9WLC. Paul, what's the status over there in eastern Tuscola County, western Sanilac County tonight?
This is KB9WLC. We'll give it a green for eastern Tuscola and western Sanilac. So things look good so far. I haven't seen any shortages. The gas prices are floating around $3 a gallon. This is KB9WLC back in that.
KB9WLC from W5DMH, 10 over signal for you coming out of beautiful Cass City, Michigan. And everybody sounded really good tonight, with the exception of we had Randy, which hopefully he'll come back around on the next round, and John out on the East Coast was having some band issues, but hopefully we'll get that squared away. Everybody else is sounding great tonight. That brings us down to Mike over in Kalamazoo County, KE8 NLE. Mike, what's the status over in Kalamazoo County tonight?
This is KE8 NLE. Status here in Kalamazoo is green. Everything's pretty good, although very, very wet. We had an awful lot of rain today. It just never seems to let up. And, that's all right. I don't mind spring weather in January or the end of December, I guess. So we'll take it when we can. As other people have said, gas prices are right around $3. And I was at the store a little bit today. Everything looked like it was going good there. And other than that, I don't have a whole lot to add. So KE8 NLE, back to you, Dan.
KE8 NLE from W5DMH 10 over signal coming out of Kalamazoo County tonight, Mike, and thank you for taking the time to join us tonight and giving us a green report for Kalamazoo County as well. Now we're going to report out my report out. So I saw fuel today over there in Millington at $2.94 a gallon for gas, $3.59 for diesel. I took a road trip over to the other side of Saginaw, and I saw standing water flipping everywhere. I mean, it's just a giant lake from my house all the way to Saginaw and back. Lots of standing water, lots of rain down. Last time I took a look at my rain gauge, it was only 7/10, but apparently the ground's already pretty saturated, so the water's got no place to go. And let's see, in the live chat, we've got my friend Jen out of Lapeer reporting green. The only shopping she did was at the Auburn Hills Costco in Oakland County, and they were stocked. Gas in Metamora was $3.10 to $3.15 a gallon. Dave and Sonia in Lapeer County reporting green. Gas $2.89 a gallon. Eggs may start to be low on the shelves, especially with the new cage-free egg law starting on January 1st. And then Doug reporting in Lapeer County, $2.89 for gas, and shelves all green for Lapeer. And then we switch over to the Signal chat because nobody can post all in the same chat. We've got Tim W8 LLC posting green for Berry County. Did notice some produce shortages a couple days ago. Jerry W8 MMC reporting the same thing for Berry County. Let's see, we got Joe Dolio out of Montana, but he's not giving me any green report there. So I think that wraps it up for the chat windows. And that brings us to the bottom of the net. We're going to throw it out there for any late lagging check-ins. Any late lagging check-ins for the Midwest Prepper Report Net. Call now with your call sign, your county, and your name to Whiskey 5 Delta Mike Hotel.
Kilo 3 Delta Golf Tango.
K3DGT, can I have a name and a county, please?
Kilo 3 Delta Golf Tango, this is Don from Monroe County. Hopefully my signal is better this week. I replaced my coax run, so I think that was a problem. I think I was waterlogged last week. Things green in Monroe County. Gas, everybody's got gas up in there, $3, just left the grocery store. Everything's stocked, low on milk.
Well, Don, we got you better than we did last week. I can say that for sure. There's still something going on there where you're getting these weird sparks of static, and it seems like it's on your microphone side, like maybe your microphone's got a short or something, or it's the sensitivity set too high and it's overdriving. I'm not sure, but something not quite right there. But I did understand your audio. Your signal strength is fine. And I was able to understand your audio, so you're definitely better than last week. And thanks for joining and giving us a green report on Monroe County. With that, we're going to throw it out there one more time to see if there's any other late lagging check-ins. Try again. Not hearing them. So with that, we're going to roll back up to Randy in Berry County, KC8QNR. Randy, let's see if we can bring you back now.
KC8QNR, hopefully it's working with battery. That helps. Give Southern Berry County green. Fuel prices $2.99 and net, KD8
Okay, we got you that time. You were in the weeds, and you're actually under my noise floor, bouncing around at about an S7, and I've got an S8 noise floor tonight. But I was able to copy a green report for Southern Berry County, $2.99 a gallon for fuel. Appreciate you taking the time to check in tonight, Randy. With that, we're going to drop down to John in Waldo County, Maine, KB1 ROT. Maybe we can bring you in now again, John. Let's give it a shot.
ROT, is that sounding better?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I can bring you in this time.
Yeah, my noise floor is like that. We've got rain and freezing rain, sharp issicles dripping off of my antenna. So, yes, if you didn't get it before, we are green across the board. The only issue is it's been hard to find eggs. I mean, I know it's the holiday season, but there's been low eggs. $2.90 a gallon, and you heard me fine. I hope you did. Hope all is well, and Happy New Year. KB1 ROT, back to back.
KB1 ROT, I did copy the entire transmission, and thanks for joining tonight, John, and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to you and yours as well. Sorry about the storm conditions you're having there. We're kind of going through it too, but it's not iced up yet. Temperatures are just a little too warm for us over here, but we're getting gale force winds and rain. And if you look at it on radar, it looks like a giant hurricane over Michigan right now. So, yeah, definitely feel your pain there. Thanks for hanging on and joining us for the second round there. I'm glad we were able to pull you in and get your report. So thank you again for your patience in getting through it. So that brings us to the absolute bottom of the net, and we're going to roll back up to the top for additional comments. We got Sparky in Montcalm County, KE8 FTT. Any additional comments?
Yeah, this is Sparky. I was just saying they're starting to push this bird flu thing, kind of like the next, scamdemic type of thing. And I guess somebody's trying to push Biden to bring out the vaccination or whatever before the end of his term. But, whatever it means to you guys, it means whatever it means. But just throwing that out there. But other than that, this is K8 FTT. Sparky, back to you, Dan.
K8 FTT from W5DMH. Well, thanks again for joining tonight, Sparky, and that additional information. We're going to drop down to Mike in Mecosta County, KD8YZB. Anything additional for the net tonight, Mike?
Thanks a lot again, Dan. This is Mike in Mecosta, KD8YZB. I forgot to give you a signal report earlier. You're hitting 2530 over very strongly over here, Dan. Super strong audio. I did want to run with a comment, Dan, that you made and that Joe made in the signal about the January 1st thing with the eggs and having to be cage free. That's quite the scam in the sense that standard for cage free does not mean organic. It just means that the bird has an opportunity to go outside per se and stand in an area where it's not bumped up against a bunch of other chickens. But it doesn't guarantee the chicken actually does that. They're still quite often raised in, very crowded conditions, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a sham. And as you said, it's going to raise the price of an item that has traditionally been a fairly economical way to get a fairly high protein, nutritious meal. So it's a sham all the way around, and we can see where things are going for sure. Okay, with that, back to W5DMH from KD8YZB.
KD8YZB from W5DMH. Yeah, you're bouncing around 25 over, Mike. Good solid signal coming out of Mecosta County tonight. Thank you for that additional information. We're going to drop down to Leonard in Oakland County, 88FK. Leonard, anything additional for the net tonight?
Nothing additional from this vantage point, Dan. Just keep alert, and we'll be here next week. So back to you from 88FK.
88FK from W5DMH. Well, just a side note, Leonard. I was down in White Lake Township, I don't know, Thursday, I think, doing a site study for radio, and I was using a Yagi antenna to hit my repeater up here in Mayville, and I was able to come into the repeater full quieting from down in White Lake Township using a 7-element Yagi on a 10-foot pole. So we're starting to look towards bringing We the County online down in that area using a little bit of Yagi technology to connect the repeater. So just keep that in the back of your mind in the upcoming We the County meetings. With that, we're going to drop down to Lance in Jackson County, K8LCS. Anything additional for the net tonight, Lance?
No, nothing at all, Dan. Thanks for letting me in on the net tonight, and thanks for running the net. Everybody's sounding real good up this way down in Jackson County, and your signal is still at full 30 over plus, so solid, great audio, and hope everybody has a good week, and we'll look forward to hearing you all next week. It's 7-3 from Lance, K8LCS in Jackson County.
K8LCS from W5DMH. Yeah, still rocking signal coming out of Jackson County as well, Lance. Like 25 over. Thanks again for joining tonight and the additional information and the kind words. And we're going to drop down to Randy in Berry County, KCA QNR. Randy, any additional comments for the net tonight?
Well, thanks, Dan. No, nothing here. I just wanted to wish everybody on the net happy New Year. Stay safe. Enjoy. Wonderful Michigan weather.
Thanks again for joining tonight, Randy. And same thing to you. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Prosperous New Year going forward. We're going to drop down to John in Waldo County, Maine, KB1ROT. Anything additional for the net tonight, John?
Nope, nothing specific. Just to reach you tonight, I'm putting out about 300, and I tell you at about an S15. I said my noise floor is pretty high tonight, but I can hear you clear.
Oh, that's awesome. Unfortunately, I got you right in my noise floor. You're right at an S8 for me, and my noise floor is at S8 tonight. But I'm able to, as the night wore on, I've been able to pull your audio out without too much trouble. So thanks again for joining tonight, John. Have a happy, prosperous New Year going forward, and we'll look forward to talking to you next Sunday as well. And that brings us down to Kevin over in Kent County, KE8VN. Anything additional for the net tonight, Kevin?
KE8VN. No, nothing additional for the net. Other than I hope everybody has a good New Year's and keep your head on a swivel. KE8VN, back to net control.
KE8VN from W5DMH. So thanks again for joining tonight, Kevin. And Happy New Year to you as well. I'm going to drop down to Bill in Macomb County, K8OB. Bill, anything additional for the net tonight?
Not much additional, Dan, other than, yeah, I agree with Mike YZV about the whole egg issue. It's just a big old sham. Just ridiculous. But other than that, thanks again for running the net. Big signal as always, 35-40 over, and great audio. And, thanks for running it every weekend. And I hope everybody on the net has a very happy New Year. And looking for better days coming. So, K8OB, back to net control.
K8OB from W5DMH. Yeah, rocking signal coming out of Macomb County as always. Thanks for taking the time to join tonight, Bill, and Happy New Year to you and yours going forward. I hope we have a happy, prosperous New Year going forward. And with that, we're going to drop down to Myra in Lapeer County, K8FOQ. Myra, anything additional for the net tonight?
This is K8FOQ. I really don't have anything additional. Just everybody have a great New Year. Happy 2025, and I'll talk to you next year on the net. Back to you, Dad. This is K8FOQ.
K8FOQ from W5DMH. Well, thanks again for joining, Myra, and the same to you. I hope you have a happy, prosperous New Year going forward, and 2025 brings you everything you want. With that, we're going to drop down to Paul out of Tuscola County, KB9WLC. Paul, anything additional for the net tonight?
This is KB9WLC. I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. That's about it. This is KB9WLC. I'll be clear and back to net with W5DMH. Thanks for joining the net.
KB9WLC from W5DMH. Well, Happy New Year to you as well, and say Happy New Year to Darcy for me, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next weekend, and thanks for taking the time to join. And that brings us down to Mike in Kalamazoo County, KE8NLE. Anything additional for the net tonight, Mike?
Oh, let's repeat that Happy New Year that's been going around to everybody. Hope everybody's has a safe one out there, and keep it that way. I'll just go down to everybody similar. I can hear everybody here in Kalamazoo really well. Even Randy and John there, they popped up this second time go around with a really nice clear copy on them here in Kalamazoo. So I'm glad that all worked out for everybody. And until next week, KE8NLE 73.
KE8NLE from W5DMH. Well, thanks again for joining tonight, Mike, and Happy New Year to you and yours. And that brings us down to Don down in Monroe County, K3DJT, or DGT, I'm sorry. Don, anything additional for the net tonight?
This is Kilo 3, Delta Golf Tango. Nothing further for the net. I hope I'm coming in a little clear. I had my compression on. I was doing some DX work earlier. Thanks for running the net tonight, Dan. Appreciate it. Back to net control.
Okay, that transmission was night and day better than the previous transmission. That was pretty well normal right there. It was good, solid signal. I had you at 10 over, good audio. Everything was wonderful. So you got it squared away. Thanks for joining again tonight, Don. And Happy New Year to you and yours. And we appreciate you taking the time to join us. And that brings us to the bottom of the net. I'll throw it out there one last time for any late lagging check-ins. Bring it now. Nothing heard, so we're going to call the ball, return the frequency back to its previous use. I'm going to thank everybody that's out there on the live chat, on the signal chat. Thanks for joining. All you folks on the air, thanks for joining as well. Happy New Year to everybody who can hear the sound of my voice, and I hope we all have a safe, happy, prosperous new year going forward. So with that, W5DMH, I will be clear upon your finals.
Hey, Dan, can I make another transmission?
Yeah, go ahead.
So everybody probably knows about this, but I just ran into it. Kiwi, Kiwi, Kiwi SDR. You can Google that, but they have somebody's got a Kiwi SWR in Ann Arbor, and you can listen to this net online on the internet on the web SDR, and it's excellent signals from everybody also on that Kiwi SWR in Ann Arbor. So with that, 7-3 from K8LCS.
K8LCS, I don't know if you're aware, but we simulcast this on YouTube every Sunday.
Yeah, I knew you had been, and then you quit, and I'd heard that you started again. So yeah, that's another place you can listen to it for sure. I listen on my phone on that SWR, and I find it pretty handy. So 7-3 from K8LCS.
Very good. So now I'm waiting for everybody else's finals. 7-3, everybody.
This is K8FDT, 7-3. Thank you, Dan, for hosting that, and I look forward to next week.
88YZB 73s, everybody stay frosty and Happy New Year.